Welcome back to Happy Seniors Life, where East meets West, and every conversation is a step toward living longer, living healthier, and living with dignity. I'm Dr. Thomas, and for more than 30 years, I've had the privilege of helping older adults across the United States understand their bodies again, not with fear, but with clarity and compassion. And today, I'm sitting down with someone I deeply admire, a man who not only lived past 100 years old, but helped others live with strength and purpose far into their 80s and 90s. He is Japan's most beloved physician, the late Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, and through his books, his teachings, and his philosophy, his voice continues to guide millions around the world. We're honored to bring his wisdom into this episode. Let me begin with a question. Have you ever stood up in the morning only to feel like your legs were filled with sand, not pain, not illness, just heavy, sluggish, like something quietly changed while you slept? You are not alone. And what many people don't realize is that this is often the body's first whisper, not of aging, but of something deeper. A call for nourishment, a need for circulation, a reminder that strength isn't gone, it's simply waiting. If you've ever felt that, I want you to do one thing for me right now. Please comment below with the number 1 if you felt heaviness in your legs. Or type 0 if not. We read every single comment because your story matters here. Now, take a breath. Today's episode may surprise you because in just one small change, just 12 hours, you may feel something shift. Not a miracle, but a message from your body finally being heard. Topic 1. Why do seniors lose leg strength silently? Let's go a little deeper. Because that feeling of heaviness, that slow rising from a chair, the wobble on the first step, it's not random. It's not just old age. It's the body trying to say something. Now, here's the truth most people don't hear often enough. After the age of 60, the average adult loses up to 3% of muscle mass every year without even being sick or injured. That number comes from research published by the National Institute on Aging. And where does that loss show up first? The legs. Always the legs. Because our legs carry everything. They lift us, balance us, help us walk to the kitchen, or stand long enough to greet a friend at the door. And yet, most people don't notice this silent decline until something small becomes a crisis. Dr. Hinohara. Yes, and in my work, I saw this over and over again. An 82-year-old woman in Kyoto, she could walk 2 miles every day just last year. But slowly, she began taking longer naps. Her knees become stiff. She said she just felt off. Then one day, she missed a step on her front porch. Nothing broken, but everything changed. What people don't realize is that muscle doesn't vanish in one day. It sleeps. It fades. And sometimes, when we stop moving enough or stop eating what the body needs, the message gets lost. Dr. Thomas. Exactly. And that message is critical because when leg strength begins to fade, confidence fades with it. People hesitate. They stop going for walks. They avoid stairs, and with every small avoidance, the muscles grow quieter, and the risk of falling grows louder. Dr. Hinohara. Yes, and not just the physical risk, but the emotional one too. Isolation, loneliness, a sense of shrinking from life. That is the true danger of leg weakness. It's not just about standing up. It's about staying engaged with the world. Dr. Thomas? Let me ask you, dear listener, have you started to avoid stairs lately? Do you feel unsteady when getting out of bed in the morning? If yes, I want you to know you're not alone and you're not broken, but your body is asking for something. Please leave a comment below if you've ever caught yourself saying, I just don't feel as strong as I used to. Just type yes. It's powerful to admit it, because admitting is not giving up. It's the first step to taking action. And right after this break, we'll talk about what causes these changes in the body and how just one small habit can send a signal to reverse them. Topic 2, what really happens inside aging legs and why food matters so fast. So let's answer the question that's been hanging in the air. If muscles don't vanish overnight, why do so many seniors wake up one day and feel like their legs have given up? The answer, as always, is deeper than it seems. It's not just the muscle. It's the blood, you see? As we age, our blood vessels lose the elasticity. The walls stiffen. Circulation slows down, especially in the legs where gravity works against us. This means less oxygen, less nutrition, and less waste removal. The muscles aren't broken, they're underfed. And underfed muscles stop responding. Dr. Hinohara. That's exactly what I saw again and again. Older adults would come to my clinic and say, my legs feel tired, but I didn't do anything. And I would always answer gently. That's the point. You didn't move, and you didn't feed them either. We think of food as fuel, but it's also a signal. A specific combination of nutrients can tell the body it's time to wake up, time to repair, time to re-engage. Dr. Thomas. Now here's something most people don't know. According to a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2023, older adults who consumed glycine, an amino acid found in real bone broth, reported noticeable improvement in joint comfort and leg movement within just 12 hours. That's not a theory. That's data. And that's why what we eat and when we eat matters. Dr. Hinohara. And not just any food. It must be the kind that supports blood flow, reduces inflammation, and restores mineral balance. In Japan, after surgery or illness, we never just say, rest, we say, nourish. Because recovery doesn't come from stillness, it comes from circulation. Dr. Thomas, exactly. So many of my patients wait for pain before they act. But the truth is, if your legs feel stiff in the morning, it's not a weakness. It's stagnant. And that can be reversed faster than you think. Which leads us to today's surprising insight. You don't need a supplement. You don't need a miracle cure. Sometimes you just need a warm cup of the right thing at the right time. Dr. Hinohara. And when you do, the body listens. Because the body still remembers how to heal. You just have to speak its language. Dr. Thomas. So, I want to ask our listeners right now, have you ever tried eating or drinking something that made your body feel lighter the next morning? If yes, tell us what it was in the comments. You might help someone else reading, because sometimes it's not about a giant transformation, it's about sending the right signal and giving your legs a reason to move again. Topic 3. The healing power of bone broth, what science confirms, and what tradition knew all along. All right, my friend, let's get practical now. Because if we know the legs aren't broken, they're just underfed, then what can we actually do about it? And this is where tradition meets science in a way that's almost too simple to believe. Dr. Hinohara, you've said for decades that food is medicine. So let me ask directly, is there one healing food that you've seen help older adults regain strength faster than any other, Dr. Hinohara? Yes, and it surprises many people. It's not rare. It's not expensive. It's bone broth, but not just the kind from a can. I mean real bone broth simmered slowly, with real bones, connective tissues, vinegar, and thyme. It's a tradition we've used in Japan for centuries, especially after surgery, long illness, or periods of weakness. Because when you cook it properly, bone broth becomes rich in collagen, glycine, proline, magnesium, and potassium. These are not just nutrients, they are messengers. They tell the body, we are safe now. You can repair it. Dr. Thomas, I love that. You're saying it's not just a soup, it's a signal. Dr. Hinohara, exactly. It tells the joints to relax. It tells the blood vessels to open. And it tells the muscles, you are not alone anymore. In fact, a 2022 clinical review in Frontiers in Nutrition found that older adults who regularly consumed collagen rich foods, particularly bone broth, experienced improvements in joint mobility, reduced stiffness, and even better sleep. Within 1 to 2 days, many participants reported feeling lighter in their legs, not because they built new muscle, but because they stopped guarding. Dr. Thomas, that phrase, stop guarding, hits home, because I've seen that when people feel pain or instability, their whole body braces, the muscles lock up, the knees hesitate, and just like that, we lose flow, we lose freedom. But when something warm and nourishing enters the body, it tells the nervous system, it's okay to let go. Dr. Hinohara, and this is why the when matters too. I often recommend 2 specific windows of time in the morning, before inflammation builds up, and after movement, even light stretching, because those are the moments when your body is most open, when the doors to recovery are unlocked. Dr. Thomas, let me be practical here for a moment. To our listeners, if you want to try this at home, here's what to do. If you buy it, look for labels that say grass-fed, slow-simmered, and avoid shelf-stable cartons full of additives. If you make it at home, use real bones, chicken feet, marrow bones, joints. Add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to pull the minerals out. Let it cook low and slow 12 hours if you can. Garlic, ginger, a bay leaf, and love. Simple, ancestral, real. Dr. Hinohara. You don't need a full bowl, even half a cup, warm, once a day can send the right message to your muscles. Dr. Thomas. And when that message is heard, the body responds. So here's my gentle challenge to everyone listening today. Try it once, just one warm cup, and then listen. When you get up tomorrow, see how your knees feel. Notice if you stand taller. See if the stairs feel a little less cruel. And if you do feel a difference, even a small one, comment below with the word warm, because healing begins with warmth, and warmth begins with you. Topic 4, the vegetarian alternative, how miso restores strength from the gut outward. Now, I know many of our listeners might be thinking, but what if I don't eat meat? What if I follow a vegetarian or plant-based diet? Let me say this clearly. Healing doesn't belong to one kind of eater. The body responds to care not category, and there is a deeply nourishing option for you too. Dr. Hinohara. Yes, and it is an ancient one. It's not a powder, not a pill. It's something humble, fermented, and full of life. We call it miso. Dr. Thomas, now, to be clear, we're not talking about instant miso packets with high sodium and artificial flavors. We're talking about traditionally aged miso, fermented for months, rich in enzymes, probiotics, and amino acids. Dr. Hinohara, exactly. Miso is more than a seasoning. It is a healing medium. And in Japan, It is often the first food served in hospitals, not just for comfort, but for recovery. What makes miso powerful is that it works from the inside out, starting with the gut. Dr. Thomas. And that's something Western medicine is finally catching up to. When the gut is inflamed, the whole body goes into defense mode. Blood flow shifts, muscles tighten, recovery slows down, but when the gut is calm, the body gets permission to repair. Dr. Hinohara miso contains glutamic acid, which is a precursor for GABA, a neurotransmitter that calms the nervous system. It also contains magnesium, which helps relax blood vessels. And the fermentation process unlocks plant-based amino acids that support muscle tone even without animal protein. Dr. Thomas. So in a very real way, miso tells the body you're safe. You can heal now. And that's not just a poetic idea. A review published in Nutrients Journal in 2021 highlighted how traditional fermented miso improved gut flora, reduced systemic inflammation, and supported vascular health in older adults. Dr. Hinohara. That is why timing matters too. I always recommend miso in the evening. Not boiling, just warm. Because that's when the body is ready to shift from alertness to restoration. Dr. Thomas. And when you give your gut a message of peace at night, your legs receive the signal by morning, not with a jolt, but with steadiness. The kind of steadiness that lets you walk across the kitchen without reaching for the counter. The kind that whispers, "Yes, I can stand longer today." Dr. Hinohara. So whether you choose bone broth or miso, what matters most is not what's in the bowl, but what it tells your body. Are you sending a message of urgency or one of renewal? Are you rushing through your meals or receiving them with care because food, in its truest form, is not about fullness, it is about communication? Dr. Thomas. So let's give our body something worth listening to. Let's treat dinner as medicine, not a habit. And let's begin the evening with intention, not just exhaustion. If you've ever tried miso real miso and felt something shift the next day, tell us below. And if you haven't, this might be the most simple, powerful step you take this week. Because strength isn't built with willpower alone. It's built with understanding, with warmth, and with the quiet confidence that your body still remembers how to come back. Topic 5. Why timing is everything when your body listens best. We've talked about what to eat. Now let's talk about when to eat it. Because timing, especially as we age, is no longer a luxury. It's a level. Think of your body like a house. During the day, the lights are on. Noise, activity, distraction, but at night things slow down. That's when the real repairs begin. And just like a good builder needs the right tools at the right time, your body needs the right nutrients at the right moment. Dr. Hinohara, yes. This is where many people make a silent mistake. They may eat nourishing foods, but not when the body is ready to receive them. In Japan, we believe that food is not just fuel. It is timed information. Morning is the moment of preparation. Evening is the moment of permission. Dr. Thomas. That's beautiful and incredibly practical. Here's what most people don't realize. There are windows and during the day when your body is more receptive, more open to repair. According to a 2024 study from Harvard Medical School, older adults who consumed anti-inflammatory nutrients within 2 hours of light movement showed a faster decrease in joint stiffness and improved blood flow to the legs compared to those who delayed eating. The key movement wakes up the body. Then food guides it. Dr. Hinohara. Exactly. This is why I often recommend drinking bone broth or having a small bowl of miso soup right after a short walk, or gentle stretching. Because at that moment, the muscles are alert, the blood is moving, the body is asking, what do we do next? And when you give it warmth, nourishment, and peace, the answer becomes, we heal. Dr. Thomas. It's the same with mornings. So many older adults skip breakfast or grab something sugary on the go. But in that early window before inflammation sets in, before fatigue piles up, your cells are like open hands, waiting. Even just 1/2 cup of nourishing liquid in the morning can shift the whole trajectory of your energy, your mobility, your clarity. Dr. Hinohara. And timing is not only biological, it is emotional. If you feed your body before it asks, you send a message, I'm here, I care, I remember you. That changes everything. Dr. Thomas. So I want to ask our listeners now, what does your morning routine look like? Are you rushing into your day on an empty stomach and tight joints? Or are you meeting your body where it is gently, consistently, with intention? Please tell us in the comments, what's the first thing you eat or drink each morning? We read every story. And your answer could inspire someone else. Because here's the truth. Food is only half the medicine. The other half is timing. If you miss the window, you might miss the healing. But if you meet the body in its moment, even a single spoonful can begin a cascade of recovery. Dr. Hinohara, and that's the beauty of aging. Well, it's not about doing more. It's about doing less, but doing it at the right time. When you treat food like a conversation and timing like respect the body responds quietly but faithfully. Topic 6. What most people get wrong about rebuilding leg strength. Dr. Thomas. Let's talk about one of the most common mistakes I see among older adults, and to be honest, it breaks my heart every time. They feel weakness in their legs, and what do? They either push themselves too hard or they give up completely. Neither works, and here's why. Dr. Hinohara. Yes, this is something I've seen all over the world. People believe that in order to regain strength, they must force themselves to run, to lift, to suffer. But the truth is, rebuilding strength is not about punishment. It's about permission, Dr. Thomas beautifully said. Because here's what most people get wrong. They think rebuilding muscle is like building a house. But after 60, it's more like reopening an old home, one that's been closed up for a while. You don't go in with a sledgehammer. You open a window. You let the light in. You check the wiring. You move slowly. Dr. Hinohara. Exactly. We must remember older muscles are still alive, just quieter, slower to respond. They don't need to be whipped into shape. They need to be invited back. Dr. Thomas, and that's where many people go wrong. They either try high-impact exercises too soon, or they assume it's too late to try anything. Let's be clear. You do not need to run miles. You do not need to go to a gym. You need to move smart, not just move more. Dr. Hinohara. And movement is only half the picture. You cannot out-exercise poor nourishment. If you're not feeding your muscles what they need, protein, minerals, hydration, you're building a house without bricks. Dr. Thomas. Absolutely. May not, and here's where nutrition plays a role that most people overlook. Your muscles don't just need more food. They need the right signals. Amino acids, antioxidants, electrolytes to tell them it's safe to wake up again. And it's not just what you eat, it's what you absorb. If your gut is inflamed or your digestion is slow, even the best food won't get where it needs to go. Dr. Hinohara. Which brings us back to our earlier point. Food is not the final answer, but it is the first step. And the second step, gentle, consistent movement, not for sweating, but for circulation, coordination, and confidence. Dr. Thomas, I tell my patients all the time, if you can stand from your chair 5 times, walk to your mailbox, or stretch your calves against the wall, you're already doing more than half the population your age. So don't chase the gym hero version of yourself. Chase the balanced, steady, upright version. That's the one who lives longer, walks stronger, and enjoys their independence. Dr. Hinohara. And that's what we want to walk freely, to rise without thinking, to trust our legs again, not because we forced them, but because we listened. Dr. Thomas, so let me ask our listeners today, what's the smallest movement you've added recently? Does that make a real difference? Was it standing more often, doing circles with your ankles in bed, taking the stairs with a little more confidence? Share it in the comments, because rebuilding doesn't begin in the gym. It begins in the quiet, humble choices we make every single day. Topic 7, what change feels like, how to recognize recovery in your body. Now we've talked about food, timing, and movement, but there's something just as important, maybe even more. How do you know it's working? Because recovery doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives in silence. And if you don't know what to look for, you might miss it. Dr. Hinohara, yes. In medicine, we often wait for numbers, blood pressure, lab results, charts. But real healing begins with sensation. The way your body speaks is not through data. It's through how you move, how you stand, how you feel when no one is watching. Dr. Thomas. So let's name some of those quiet signs because they matter more than most people think. Maybe you stood up from your chair and didn't have to pause first. Maybe you climbed the stairs with less hesitation. Maybe your legs didn't feel like sandbags in the morning. Maybe you walked across the room without reaching for support. Those moments, that's your body saying, thank you. I'm waking up. Dr. Hinohara, and even more important, maybe you started trusting your body again. Not just physically, emotionally, because healing isn't just about muscles. It's about confidence. And every time you feel a little more stable, a little more alive, that's not luck, that's progress. Dr. Thomas. Absolutely. So many of my patients say, I don't feel younger, but I feel lighter. And that word lighter is powerful. It means blood is flowing, joints are safer, the nervous system is calmer. And the muscles are no longer in hiding, Dr. Hinohara. And that is what we want. Not dramatic change, but steady return. The return of balance, the return of rhythm, the return of trust between you and your own legs, Dr. Thomas. So, if you're listening to this and wondering, have I really improved? Let me give you a test tonight when you go to bed. Ask yourself, did I move more today than yesterday? Did I rise from the couch with a little less effort? Did I feel a moment of comfort where last week I felt tension? If the answer is yes to even one of those, that's your proof. That's your healing. Dr. Hinohara. And it doesn't have to be daily. Some weeks will feel stuck. Some mornings will feel slow. But when you look back over a month and realize you've stopped fearing the stairs, or you no longer plan your day around sitting, that's how you know. The body remembers how to heal. Dr. Thomas. And I want to invite everyone listening. Take a moment today and write down one thing your body did this week that made you smile. Was it a stretch that felt easier? A nap that felt deeper? A walk that didn't require rest? Write it down. Or Better yet, share it in the comments. Because when you celebrate those small wins, you tell your nervous system, I noticed, keep going. Dr. Hinohara, recovery is not a finish line. It is a friendship. And every gentle choice you make, every spoonful of healing, every quiet stretch, every peaceful meal strengthens that relationship. Step by step, signal by signal. You're not just adding years to life, you're adding life back into your years. Dr. Thomas, as we come to the close of this conversation, I want to say something from the heart, not as a doctor, but as a friend. Aging is not a disease. It's not a failure. It's a season. And every season has its rhythm, its challenges, and its own quiet beauty. But here's the truth that too many people forget. Your body still listens. Even at 60, 70, 80, it's still receiving your signals. Not just the big decisions, but the small ones. The spoon of warm broth, the gentle walk after dinner, the choice to rest instead of rush, the decision to nourish instead of neglect. Dr. Hinohara, yes. And that is the invitation today, to begin again not from regret but out of curiosity. What would happen if you gave your body one full day of kindness? Not perfection, just intention. Dr. Thomas. Because one day becomes two. 2 days become a week. And suddenly you wake up not afraid of the stairs. You stand without planning it. You feel lighter, steadier, present. Dr. Hinohara. That is health. Not numbers, not muscles, but presence. The ability to show up for your life and for the people in it. Dr. Thomas. So to everyone listening right now, I want you to ask yourself a quiet question tonight. What would it look like to live lighter, not just in weight, but in burden, in fear, in pain, in hesitation? What would it feel like to reclaim not just your strength, but your freedom? Dr. Hinohara, the freedom to move, the freedom to trust your body again, the freedom to choose how you age instead of waiting for it to choose for you. Dr. Thomas, so if today's episode touched something in you, if even one idea made you pause, made you breathe deeper, made you want to take better care of yourself, please let us know in the comments below. Just write one word, still listening, because that's what your body is doing. And when you write it, you remind someone else that they're not alone either. Dr. Hinohara, this is not a solo journey. This is a path we walk together, east and west, science and soul, wisdom and wonder. And together, we build not just longer lives, but lives are worth living. Dr. Thomas, we'll see you in the next episode, where we'll talk about 5 everyday habits that quietly speed up aging and how to reverse them. Until then, be kind to your body, give it warmth, give it time, and above all, keep listening, because your body still hopes you'll speak to it with care